Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Mediabyte podcast. It has been a very long time. This is my co-host. His name is, what is your name?
Jared, hi, hello. That's me.
His name is Jared.
And here,
My
and
name is Evan.
his name is Evan.
It
That
has
is
been a
true.
very long time since we've done this. In fact, we recorded a podcast live together, but then we just never uploaded it. Or I never uploaded it. I never edited or did anything with it.
That was what,
October.
October?
I was October.
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
forever.
we bought like Halloween props and everything. Maybe I'll see if I can find it, upload it this year.
Just
But
upload it. Just re-upload it.
just upload
We're
the live
completely
file.
different people.
But
We look so different.
and so in that, just to catch you up on, as our setups are kind of different now, Jared moved into my room in our old house, and then I actually bought a house and in my house, in my office. I get a lot of
Yeah,
applause.
let's go. Let's go. Let's
Thank you,
go.
thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Let's go.
It's very nice in here. Uh, wait, I want to introduce you guys to somebody. I'll be right back.
Okay. So I'm gonna just, I guess, talk for a second. Now we're not doing Zoom calls from like the opposite rooms for each other. We're quite literally further apart. We're not less than 20 feet away from each other, back and forth. So, it makes sense. So this is my favorite part of this whole podcast is when Evan just leaves. He just goes away for a while. I don't know what that means. Um, so let's analyze. If you're just watching, oh no, he's coming back. Never mind. But he has a special guest.
His name is Gibby. Oh,
It's a cat. If for the audio listeners, there's a cat,
you can see his tail.
and there you see his tail. That's very Jaws
That's my
like.
buddy, man. Huh?
Very Jaws like. His tail's
Okay,
just kind of leaning into the screen. Okay, there's now the whole cat is there. Oh, and he's not.
all right.
He is not wanting to be on the podcast. The cat does not want to be on the podcast. I repeat, the cat does not want to be on the podcast.
Nope.
He is not part of the
He
podcast.
is not. He is not a fan of the podcast.
No, he is not.
But that's okay. But his name is Gibby. I got him a couple months ago. Actually, a while ago now.
Yeah, it's been a while now.
Mm-hmm.
At least a year, almost.
Almost. I think we got him in like September or something,
Yeah.
early October. But yeah, that's that's
Life.
that's a recap of our lives because I don't even know when the last. I mean, it's been years
It's been a year, or over a year.
since the last one.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah,
So let's just go ahead and jump into the whole part of the whole reason why we're here. To talk about. Would you like to introduce what movie we're talking about and what it was?
yes. If you have seen our TikToks, you may have seen that we made a video based on a certain movie that begins with a T and ends with an Terrifier, and it was about a clown and he likes to kill people. It's called Terrifier. In case you didn't pick it up, we watched Terrifier. And that was
Terrifier.
Terrifier.
So like what was your first impression? What did you think initially?
It was very, very, like you said in our text message, it reeked of low budget.
Yes,
It really was.
absolutely.
I was very, very like surprised on how low budget it was. And the acting, mwah, that was fantastic.
Yeah. I would say that if Art the Clown was not first off as terrifying as he is and wasn't as acted as well as he was, we'd have no idea this movie exists. This would be
Uh,
one of the 15,000 movies that comes out that gets ignored on Amazon Prime
yeah,
forever. I
yeah.
thought it was
It was
fine.
really. I mean, I liked it. I didn't. It's not like I didn't like it. It's just
Mhm.
it was very very B movie.
Yeah,
I didn't think it was that.
yeah.
Or else I wouldn't have even brought it up. I just didn't think it was.
Well, no, because it definitely was, and it definitely felt like it at times. Um, Terrifier 2 is not like that.
Uh,
It's very different. So let's just jump into, yeah, we've already talked about the acting, we talked about kind of this tell me about the plot, a little bit about like kind of what you think about kind of what happens in it, and we'll get to art in a bit.
I liked it. I mean, it really wasn't. There wasn't that much plot to it. They were just, abandoned building, and which I mean, I liked it. It was, in my opinion, it wasn't the best movie of all time, but
5 stars.
it was just, it was okay. I enjoyed, like it was scary. He was really scary, and I liked that. Um, but I think if I had to rate it, I'd give it like maybe a 6.
Out of 10.
Uh,
Yeah.
Most of that is because of him, because he was pretty cool. But I don't know. I don't think I probably will watch it again, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Um, but that's just my take on it.
I've seen it 3 times now, I think, roughly.
Mm.
And it's just the parts that are bad gets so much worse, and the parts
Yeah,
that are good get so much better every time. And so the disparity gets much further and further apart on the quality of the movie.
yeah,
Um, so you start out and you're with these two girls, and if I remember correctly, they they're coming home from like a party or something,
mhm,
right? And well, I guess I should start back. You find out this lady is going on a talk show, and she is disfigured. She is injured. Um, and so and they come forward, and there's these two girls, and they're going home on Halloween night ish, roughly. I'm
yeah,
assuming. And they go to a pizza place. This guy follows, like looking at them. And then he goes into the pizza place and follows them. The guy is Art the Clown. He looks terrifying, and I don't know why they don't just beat the living crap out of him where he's standing. I guess because it's Halloween. Um, so they chase him. Uh, they follow him, or he follows them, and they go into this abandoned building. One of the girls stays in the car. The other girl goes into the abandoned building. And then Art gets the girl that was in the car, and we're not going to talk about that because that is so graphic.
yeah.
Um, if you want to know what that looks like and some of the kills of this movie, just watch it.
That was crazy.
I can't even describe to you what happens in this movie because of how bad it is.
But I will say, it is crazy and absolutely horrendous. But it was very, like, what's the word I'm looking for? It was very like in the realm of the movie. It was scary, but you could tell that it was just fucking fake.
Oh, it looked fake.
It looked fake. It looked
Yeah,
plastic.
yeah, it looked very
So,
plasticky, but like it was intense because of the editing and the sound and what
uh,
Art was doing. But if you look for 5 seconds, it's so obviously fake.
yeah,
But
but it was nasty.
but it was
I am not.
terrifying looking.
I did not like that.
It was
Not like that was a
Terrifier.
normal sight. I
No,
don't see
no,
that every
no,
day.
no, no. Nobody should. I hope you don't. If you've seen the movie, you know what we're talking about. Um, and if Evan's seeing that every day, there's a big problem, and I'm never going to his house again. Um,
Jesus Christ.
uh,
But yeah,
and I don't know. I thought it was lit well. I thought the cinematography was fine,
yeah,
but overall, it felt just very low budget. Like everything was very low budget. But I'm glad that Terrifier 2 got to like establish art in a more mainstream film because it like you really felt like Terrifier feels very low budget
yeah.
and you feel it. Terrifier 2 is much better. When we'll get there eventually. Um, but if you haven't seen the movie, you're gonna hear a little bit more. So basically, one of the girls from the movie gets hurt, and then you find out that she is the girl from the beginning of the movie. So it's kind of an obvious twist if you're really looking forward and paying attention. It's kind of like
Yeah.
pretty pretty obvious what that was. It was cool. It's nice foreshadowing, but it's pretty obvious who that is.
I'll be honest, I didn't see that coming, but I liked it. It was it caught me off by surprise.
I'm glad it didn't. I picked up on it when like the moment that the second girl got hurt, I knew
Uh,
exactly where that was going. But
okay,
again, I was probably just looking for it rather than somebody who
yeah,
wasn't. Like if you're just watching it, you probably won't notice. But I assumed that was coming back around at some point, and so I was trying to make the connections into how it was.
yeah.
Um,
In my opinion, the best part of the movie is art. I think he is the only reason, like you said before, he's the only reason that movie got any recognition at all because he was just so freaking cool.
yeah, no,
It
I
was
agree.
he's like a um modern slasher icon. I don't, what do
Hmm.
you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
Like Michael and Freddy, Jason.
yeah.
He's up there. And just because he was so freaking cool, his facial reactions. There's so many times where I was looking at him doing these horrific things, he would be like,
It has
and
this
then
like
I would crack up because he was so fucking funny. I know he's like sawing. Maybe not. Maybe the means there's something wrong with me. It was just a movie. It's just funny. You know what I'm saying?
it's just funny because he is doing those horrendous activities, whatever it is in that moment, and he has this big goofy carnival smile on his face,
Mhm.
like he's straight up a carnival statue.
Yeah.
Ah.
He's like it's so good.
And his suit,
That suits the
the
design is cool.
outfit is really cool, and his face is really cool,
Yeah.
and the gloves that he wears, the little like fingerless white
Yeah.
gloves, is really cool.
I like the beginning part where it's like putting them on and he
Yeah.
gets his makeup on. I like that part.
But I'm
That
glad
was
we
really
also
cool.
never saw his face without that stuff on.
Yeah. Uh,
Like we don't know what he looks like underneath everything else.
yeah.
It makes it cooler, I think, that you don't know what he looks like other
And
than that.
his name is like David Thornton or something, right?
Yeah, I think it's something similar
Is
to
he
that.
related to Billy Bob Thornton?
Yeah,
I'm being honest.
I
I'm
don't
being
know.
serious.
I have no idea.
I gotta look this
Look it
up.
up. Look it up. 'Cause I actually don't have any clue.
David Howard Thornton is he plays in the first season uh of Fargo. He plays the bad guy.
Uh-huh. Is that coming up?
No, I don't think so.
So I guess in our head canon now, Billy Bob Thornton and David
Yep,
Thornton are
they're
brothers
related.
or like father son, depending on
They're kind of looking like each other, but I don't know. I don't know. But I digress.
you digress.
Yep.
Um
In the theater of the damned.
yeah, I know. I literally was trying to not reference zombies. Um yeah, no, I think that's what makes that movie stand out is
Mhm.
art and the way that he was presented. He wasn't I know like art for some reason stands out in that movie as being above the B of the
Yeah.
movie. Like it's like if in Friday the 13th, like part three or whatever, right? Like the rest of the I mean, I guess it is kind of like that. Like Jason stands out above everybody. Like the acting doesn't really matter
Yeah.
because Jason is just up there.
Yeah.
Like in every movie, Jason's the best part of the whole movie the whole time.
Hmm.
Like there's really never a time where I'm like I sit through a Friday the 13th movie, other than like part six, maybe,
Yeah.
where I'm like, I like the characters more than I like Jason. Like
Yeah.
I don't think there's very many times where that happens.
Uh,
And I feel like with this movie, that definitely the level there is so much higher than it would be otherwise.
yeah. I don't think the movie would have been anywhere near as good as if it didn't have him in it. Yeah, and you said there's like a short film or something before the first
Yeah.
one.
So
Was it
it's
him
called,
that played him?
yes, I believe so. It's called All Hallows Eve, and I believe either Art is in all of the three different stories or he's in like the ending one.
Okay.
In fact, I don't remember because I've never actually seen it, but it's an anthology. It's not a based on like one story
Okay.
like Terrifier is. So I think what happened was he was popular in All Hallows Eve, and then they made Terrifier because of that movie.
Okay. Okay. I liked
But
it.
I thought it was fine. Kind of go into like just give it a rating, give it a, I don't know. Should we decide now live on podcast what our rating system for this movie should be?
I mean, we can. I don't know. I would say like 1 through 10. I feel like, or
Thumbs
thumbs
up.
up,
Yeah,
thumbs up.
well, let's just steal it from straight from Siskel and Ebert. Let's just do it. Thumbs up. That
Terrifier was a thumbs up.
was a double thumbs up night for Siskel and Ebert.
Uh, I don't know. I feel like 1 through 10 is the best way.
Okay, do 1 through 10. So yeah, give it an official rating. What you
Mine,
think?
mine is a solid 6. Actually, no, really weak 6. Art is what makes the movie for me, and it's the only reason I'm even going up to a 6.
Yeah. I is there I would probably put it right around 5 or 5.5.
Uh,
I thought it was well directed. I thought it was the parts of the movie were well written. I don't know if they were the best acted, but I don't think that that was the fault of the script necessarily. I thought the script was fine.
yeah.
Um, it was definitely well written or well directed and well like the cinematography was great in that movie. It
Uh,
felt dingy and dark
yeah.
and scary. But the acting of everybody except Art was so bad that it was really hard to like
It just kind of killed it. There were
it
times
killed
where
it a little bit.
I kind of wanted just to skip to the scenes with art in it.
Yeah.
I
It
didn't. Yeah.
it
I
could
just.
I feel like it could have been 40 minutes.
Yeah.
If it was like 35 minutes and this was just a short film, probably would have been a lot better.
Uh, I
But because
agree.
it was an hour and 35 or whatever, it dragged
Yeah.
and dragged and dragged until there was nothing you could do about it except just have it sit there and drag.
Yeah.
And it's just it feels like that and it kind of drags so far past the point where you just want to be like, okay, is this worth it?
Yeah.
Or do I just turn this off right now and save myself the 45 minutes of dark, dingy basements?
I watched it at work. No, like I work from home, so I watched it in between calls. I don't think I would have been able to sit through it if I didn't have to if I didn't have to be sitting here. I don't know if I
Yeah,
would have watched it.
when I wasn't being like kind of sat down for it
Yeah.
like that.
Uh,
It
it's just
was, yeah.
It's not a good thing for the movie, but I can see why people liked it. I think I can see why people liked it because the kills were creative. I don't think there's definitely creative, but I don't know if I don't think that I'll see it again. I don't
If,
think I'll watch it again.
if I was like, if I had nothing else to watch and it was the only movie, I would watch it and I would be fine with it. But the knowledge of knowing I can watch anything I want to pretty much at any time
Yeah,
is makes that a really hard movie to sit through.
yeah, agreed.
I enjoyed it much, much, much more the first time I watched it with knowing nothing about it than I did the last time I watched it.
Uh,
I felt like the issues with that movie really showed through the other times I've watched it since then.
yeah.
I don't know. It was just really interesting that it was so much worse this last time than it was before that.
hmm I don't know why I didn't like it as much. I thought I was going to. I
I
think
thought I was going to too.
I don't know if I was quite if I understood quite that it was like that, to be honest.
Like a low budget type movie.
Well,
Hmm.
and I'm sure the second one isn't anywhere near like that, but
No, it's not. I do like the second one. Like unironically, I like the second one.
really.
We'll get there eventually if we choose to, and I'll tell you what I like about it and what I don't like about it. So let's take the out of the movie discussion for a second, and probably for the rest of the podcast, and go into kind of what the podcast is going to look like from now on, like what we're doing here, what it's changing about it. Because if you could tell, we kind of talked about one specific movie. We
Mhm.
didn't talk about topics and general things. So that's kind of what we're going to try to do is pick a movie and discuss it and kind of talk around it and talk about whatever we want to, but
Yeah.
with the main point being to discuss whatever film it is we talk about. So we plan to talk about movies and like seasons of TV shows if we choose to do that. Um, we built a series of movies like franchises and all those things. So we'll get to basically every movie and talk about them and kind
Yeah.
of our opinions and things like that. That's just to kind of keep us on track and to kind of give you a better idea of what you're stepping foot into rather than when it's called Doctor Strange and for the first 25 minutes we talk about anything else other than Doctor Strange. Because the first four podcasts of our old version of this podcast basically was all multiverse of madness the whole time, and that's all we talked about, and we didn't even really talk about it. It was just the only thing we talked about, quote unquote.
I'll have to really listen to it because I don't remember that.
Watch the first one.
Multiverse
It
of
is
Madness one.
it's literally the first one. It's like all multiverse of madness, and we don't talk about it for like 25 minutes. um, so this way we have like a dedicated film we're going to talk about, and instead of dealing with like kind of feeling like we have to talk about everything that's going on in film world, we may have a podcast dedicated to film news in general and just kind
Yeah.
of what is happening in it. But don't expect that to be every single podcast. This is more likely what every podcast would be like: discussion of a film in general,
Mhm.
and rather than one specific like idea, like
Yeah.
one specific,
Movie.
yeah, one movie in specific, and not just
One
everything.
specific thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
to keep us either in track, but also to give you guys a better idea of what you're stepping foot into and discussing. And that way you can also choose not to listen to one if it's gonna, hurt you or like whatever. Like if it's like something you don't want to listen to
Yeah.
for whatever reason. If you don't like horror movies or you do like horror movies or whatever, you can choose to not listen to things rather than just having everything thrown at you all at once and then you having to like decide what you want to
Yeah.
listen to in the moment.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Yeah, this was fun. I had fun. We got a lot more of these coming out. I have videos coming out as well. Evan's doing TikToks
Until TikTok goes bye bye.
until TikTok gets banned, if that ever actually happens. Um, and then we'll figure out what he's gonna do. But I'm making all the I'm making all the videos now. I have one that came out as of recording this yesterday, and we have one coming out on this upcoming Wednesday, which I don't know if the podcast will be out by then, but either way, it's the 26th. Um, so we have video coming out. I'm going to try to get at least a video out every week, if not two, just depending on what life looks like around it.
Mm.
Um, so we'll have those out. We have the Patreon that I'm posting all the videos to, so they're ad free. If you pay $1 a month, you get everything ad free, every video. The same time, if not, I schedule it about 2 hours early than it would be released onto YouTube. So if that's something you're interested in, you can do that for just $1 a month, and all of it will be put right back into Mediabyte and kind of what to do and to pay for certain things that we need in order to make this a better experience. That's that. You can follow us. But TikTok is at Mediabyte Co. Instagram's also at Mediabyte Co. Threads is the same as Instagram. So that's kind of it for now. I hope you guys enjoyed listening to this and want to listen to more. Uh, so this is kind of an interesting little experiment, and we'll just see kind of where this takes us and where this goes, and
Mhm.
kind of how this evolves over the course of its lifespan. So we'll just see where that goes. And thank you guys for listening. Bye.
I'm gonna go play Fortnite.
He's
Bye.
playing Fortnite. Bye.